How's it going, everybody? How the hell are you? I'm the Nerdy Jock Nick Angle, and welcome to the next episode of Nerd Talk. Thanks so much for joining us. We got some cool stuff to get into today. Big news coming out of Critical Role is that the animated series Vox Machina is being designed by none other than Phil Bourassa. Yes, the guy behind the DC films that we all know and love, that I am such a big fan of, and quite frankly, I wish that they would make more animated films than some of the ones they've actually made in live action. But, Snyder cut aside, but the other ones, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Phil Bourassa, this is so cool. The images were released just the other day. We got a first look at them. It looks incredible. It's got a little bit of an anime feel with a little bit of the Western art. I think it's fantastic. I am a big fan of Phil's. Obviously, I'm a big fan of those DC animated films. I think this is great. I really am excited for this Vox Machina miniseries to come out. It looks incredible. I know they've got 2 seasons, I believe it is now. So awesome. Can't wait. Looks incredible. Oh, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, in other news in the Nerdverse, Lord of the Rings, we all know that a series is coming, but there is also an animated series that's coming. That's right, baby. It is the War of the Rohirrim. Yes, there is an animated movie coming about, I believe it's a pretty critical battle. It's more of the appendix of Lord of the Rings that happens about 250 years before the actual events of Lord of the Rings, and it focuses on the King of Rohan. I believe it's Helm Hammerhand, and it will focus on that. So it takes place in the Second Age of Middle-earth. Pretty pivotal battle. It actually goes into Helm's Deep. The creation of Helm's Deep, the Battle of Helm's Deep, gets all into that sort of lore of everything. And it apparently is also supposed to touch on the new series that's coming out, the live-action series that's coming out. So they are going to kind of dovetail together, which, hey, anything Lord of the Rings, I have been a fan since way high. And I think it's just really cool. I'm so excited, and again, I keep saying that about all of these things, but man, what did we do before these awesome fantasy things came out? Before nerds finally went, hey, this stuff is really cool and we want to see it. I mean, look at the box office now. You can't kick a stone 4 feet without hitting a comic book movie. Why? Because people love this stuff. Why? Because it's entertaining. It's fantastic. And anyone who sits there and goes, I don't like, all of these superhero films. Guys, look how much we pay for a movie ticket. Why am I going to go in and watch, adaptation? There's no explosions. Okay, great. Yeah, critically acclaimed. Whatever. Won an Oscar. It's great. I can watch that at home on my TV. I don't have to go to the theater to watch just people talking. I go to the theater, if I'm going to pay $16 or whatever the hell it is now, because I don't go to the theater, haven't been to one in over a year. I want action. I want explosions. I want special effects. I want surround sound. I want popcorn and gummy bears and all of that stuff. But I don't want to go there and sit there and just, watch, 27 Dresses. Who goes to see that in the theater? Who? Not me. I might have been dragged to it. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's great news. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. I will link everything also down there. And the video that Critical Role put out. And also, the article to the War of the Rohirrim. It's fantastic. I'm so pumped. All right, guys. In board game news, if you are a fan of Rainbow Six, check out Kickstarter right now because the board game Six Siege has come out and is currently on Kickstarter. If you guys haven't seen it, it's based on the Rainbow Six. It's a board game and a bunch of cool minis. For those of you who like to paint, it looks cool. I have heard some good things. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, guys. So my game of the week and my review. Yes, on Uk'otoa. That's right. I got Uk'otoa. My wife is fantastic. Got it for me for Father's Day. I played it and I really liked it. I did see some comments online that were not exactly the most flattering to Uk'otoa, but I wanted to do a review for you guys so that you can see at least what I thought about it and make up your own mind, and maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle. So, Uk'otoa from Darrington Press, the first release of Darrington Press, the Critical Role print shop. It is a game for 3 to 5 players, and it lasts about 30 to 45 minutes, give or take. Basically what it is you are on a ship that is being torn apart by the giant monster Uk'otoa. And as Uk'otoa moves around and knocks people off, you are trying to make sure that your crew stays alive and are the last ones standing. It's a very simple concept. I have some small gripes about it. First up, the board. They are made up of hexagons that you can put in place in many different combinations, which is kind of cool because there's always a little bit of different flavor in the game. You can set it up slightly differently in different ways. Once you understand the game, understand the mechanics, makes things a little bit easier. But at the very start, they basically tell you to put the steering wheel in the middle and to build the board out and around it in circles. Now, here's where my gripe comes in. The rule book, and this is with many rule books, this is not an isolated incident. The rule book is a little bit not clear on how the board is supposed to look when you're setting it up because it is not even. And the way it looks on the actual rule book, it looks like it's supposed to be this kind of triangle thing, and it doesn't work out to be that way, so it can be a little bit confusing. Understand that your board, when you first set it up with the circles, is not going to look perfect. It's going to be lopsided. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. Just play through it. You'll have a good time. Trust me. Okay, so that's the board, but let's talk about the actual gameplay, the pieces, and getting into the nitty-gritty. Now, this game says it's built for 3 to 5 players. Now, I personally think it hits its stride in the 4 to 5 player range. And the reason why I say that is I think the more players that are in, yes, it will lengthen the time of play. However, I think it increases the intrigue because the way the game is actually played is you end up looking after 2 different colors or 2 different factions. So when you're sitting there, you're going to have game pieces, and these are them, these game pieces on your left and on your right, and you share that color with the person on your left and on your right. Now, your goal is to try and make sure that both yellow and purple are the last pieces on the board. If they are, you win. If you only get one of them, then you and the other player get to share in the victory. But this is where it kind of gets complicated. When you're setting up the board, don't put those pieces out right away. Give everybody their little men, doesn't matter what color, and get them to just place it out. Now, it tells you to put these little pieces upside down so that nobody knows what color it is. However, if you can look, yeah, you know what color it is. So, put the players out on the board, and then dole these out randomly. You can pull them out of a hat. It doesn't matter. It will give the game a little bit more intrigue, and it will really force players to strategize right off the hop because they won't know what color players are. And it allows them then, when they're putting players out, they're not strategizing while they're doing that. So it won't take as long. You're just placing players as you go. That's a pro tip, something I noticed. Try it out yourself or do it differently. Whatever works for you guys. It doesn't matter. One thing you do have to realize, though, with this game is that people are going to get knocked off the board pretty quickly and pretty often. The board is going to be super crowded the more players that you have, but again, kind of leads into a little bit more intrigue, and you're probably going to tick off somebody on your left or on your right. Don't worry about it. That's the whole name of the game. If guys are getting knocked off, guys are getting knocked off. The strategy in this game, you'll figure it out as you go. Now, the cards themselves, I think, are great. It really lends itself to a game that is going to move quickly. That's the key. There were people on there that, on the other reviews that I saw, were upset that at the very beginning of the game, a lot of the little characters get killed very quickly. Well, that's kind of the point. It's a game that's supposed to move quickly. So, in closing, is this a good game? Absolutely. Don't, however, play it with 3 people. Play it with 4, your family. Play it with 5. Get a little bit of intrigue in there. Don't worry about guys getting knocked off. This strategy really comes down to the later stages of the game, when there's a little bit more room and where to go and when to run and when to use different cards. The cards themselves, there's a bit of ambiguity in them, but if you just double check in the rulebook, it does do a pretty good job of explaining them. Yes, there's a couple things in the rulebook that are not my favorite, but again, rulebooks are, if you haven't played board games, are always going to be an issue. Nobody's ever going to get it exactly right. And a lot of times I think it's because when you're writing the rulebook, you just don't think of things. This is a game that they built, the creators, they don't think of things that somebody who's never played this game before would think of. Again, that's my only gripe about this game. This is fun. It can be played, I think it says 12 plus. You can get a 6-year-old to play this game, absolutely no problem. This is a really fun game to play. It goes super quick, super enjoyable, and if you're a fan of Critical Role, it's a great way to bring that world into your own and have a little bit of fun with it. So please, it's my game of the week. Enjoy. That's my little blurb on it. You guys tell me what you think in the comments below if you've played this, and just, have some fun with it. All right, guys, that's it from me here on Nerd Talk. Thank you so much. Again, I am Nick Angle, the Nerdy Jock. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smack that subscribe. Guys, it is totally free, and it really just helps me out and helps grow the channel. Share it with your mom, share it with your friends, share it with everybody. Let's just get the word out there. But remember, guys, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, it's always game time, baby. Let's go!